Mini episode 1152 of the FDH Lounge is brought to you by Sportsology, delivering unconventional columns and webcasts about sports, TV, music, movies, and more. Follow them on the web at sportsology.com.
The FDH Lounge. You want to schedule your life around it.
A long time ago, on a gloomy, wet Cleveland spring night, two men stand alone amidst the late-night drizzle. Their voices echo across the vacant station parking lot as they debate the merits of the great American radio show that have been missing for far too long. On that night, an idea was born. That idea became the FDH Lounge. Welcome to the FDH Lounge.
Hello and welcome to FDH Lounge mini episode 1152, the weekly FDH football preview show. I'm FDH managing partner Rick Morris here with our college and non-college and fantasy and non-fantasy preview for week 4 of the 2019 NFL season. We've got our college football playoff rankings, college and pro picks, and fantasy football recommendations. We start with our weekly rankings for the college football playoff. 1 Clemson, 2 Alabama, 3 Oklahoma, 4 Georgia. Our next 4 in are 5 Auburn, 6 Ohio State, 7 LSU, and 8 Florida. Also, our NFL Power Rankings are up every week at the FDH Lounge multimedia magazine at thefdhlounge.blogspot.com. Our college football picks were 3 and 5 last week, putting us at 13 and 10 on the season. Here's our picks for this week. Ohio State minus 17 over Nebraska. Penn State minus 6.5 over Maryland. Virginia plus 12.5 over Notre Dame. Washington minus 10.5 over USC. And Kentucky plus 2.5 over South Carolina. Our NFL picks were 9 and 7 last week overall, 2 and 1 on the Big Three, and 1 and 0 on the lock, pulling all categories up after a tough start. We're 21 and 27 overall, 2 and 7 on the Big Three, and 1 and 2 on the locks. This week we've got Philadelphia plus 3.5 over Green Bay, Houston minus 4 over Carolina, Cleveland plus 6.5 over Baltimore, the New York Giants minus 2.5 over Washington, Miami plus 17.5 over the LA Chargers, Indianapolis minus 6.5 over Oakland, Atlanta minus 4 over Tennessee, the LA Rams minus 9.5 over Tampa Bay, Seattle minus 5.5 over Arizona, Chicago minus 1.5 over Minnesota, Dallas minus 2.5 over New Orleans, and Pittsburgh minus 3.5 over Cincinnati. For our Big Three, it's New England minus 7 over Buffalo, and Denver minus 3 over Jacksonville in a Why Ask Why special. Our 1,000-star gold-plated lock of the millennium for NFL Week 4 is Kansas City minus 6.5 over Detroit. Now for our fantasy football segment. Remember, we strongly discourage fantasy overmanaging. You don't pull your top guys unless they're hurt or on a bye, period. Don't let the matchups or everything geeks tell you anything different. Here's our list of guys that you go with as long as you're confident they'll be playing. Quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. Running back, Saquon Barkley, Le'Veon Bell, Nick Chubb, Ezekiel Elliott, Melvin Gordon, David Johnson, Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey, and Joe Mixon. Wide receiver, Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen, Odell Beckham, Mike Evans, Tyreek Hill, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Michael Thomas. Tight end, Zach Ertz, Travis Kelce, and George Kittle. As always, our Thursday NFL picks and fantasy plays are up on our Twitter account at the FDH Lounge. The Niners and Jets are on the bye. Now here's our non-gimme picks for the week. We like 14 QBs. Tom Brady, Jacoby Brissett, Jared Goff, Lamar Jackson, Daniel Jones, Baker Mayfield, Dak Prescott, Phillip Rivers, Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, Matthew Stafford, Deshaun Watson, Carson Wentz, and Russell Wilson. We like 16 running backs. Chris Carson, Dalvin Cook, Austin Eckler, Leonard Fournette, Devontae Freeman, Todd Gurley, Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, Josh Jacobs, Kerryon Johnson, Aaron Jones, Philip Lindsay, Marlon Mack, Sony Michel, David Montgomery, and Adrian Peterson. We like 16 wide receivers. Marquise Brown, Brandon Cooks, Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs, Larry Fitzgerald, Kenny Golladay, Josh Gordon, Mecole Hardman, Christian Kirk, Cooper Kupp, Tyler Lockett, Demarcus Robinson, John Ross, Sammy Watkins, Tyrell Williams, and Robert Woods. And we like 2 tight ends, Will Dissly and Evan Ingram. Thank you for joining us for this week's FDH Football Preview Show.
As we bring the show to a close, we would like to extend our deepest gratitude to NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, all Clear Channel affiliates, TNT, TBS, USA, UPN, Deadspin.com, YouTube.com, YTMND.com, MySpace.com, various blogs, Fox News, CNN, CNBC, MSNBC, IamBoard.com, Billboard.com, Google.com, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN News, ESPN Classic, NBA TV, NFL Network, Sports Time Ohio, Athlon Magazine, Comedy Central, Cartoon Network, The Boomerang Channel, QVC, BET, The Spice Channel, Steno Notebooks, Manwich, Papermate Office Supplies, waitresses, strippers, bartenders, garbage men, janitors, microwave popcorn, the writers of The Office, Scrubs, Entourage, My Name is Earl, Oz, Metalocalypse and the Boondocks, Aquafina, and the Periodic Table of Elements.